name is Aurora Wolfe. I'm from Saskatoon, Saskatchewan, and I'm a registered member of Beauties in Okanagan's Cree Nation. I'm here at Sask Landing, and I'm doing some sun printing cyanotypes. I'm also a beadwork artist. I work a little in sculpture and multimedia, basically anything that captures my interest, which can sometimes be a little fleeting.
I'm Melanie Monique Rose. I am a visual artist, visual storyteller, artist parent, activist, and the work that I've been doing is working with plants, getting to collaborate with the land. I'm interested in plants for their color, also their medicinal uses, and it's also a way for me to connect both with the land but also with my ancestors.
I would describe my creative style as a little bit tedious. I like big things made out of really small things like beads or fragments. A lot of my works take a very long time to complete, and when they don't, I can find that a little unsatisfying sometimes. I also really like humor as kind of a way to bring viewers into the work and broach topics that can sometimes be incredibly serious, like colonialism or intergenerational trauma.
My work is heavily about plants and flowers, and in the summer I need to be outside. I'm getting out on the land and really interested in meeting plant relatives, making connections with both people and the land.
The way that I approach my work is kind of twofold. I'll usually have an idea of kind of like the completed work that I'll want to do, and then it's a lot of like guess and check until I can figure out how I'm going to execute it. At one point I was making a jacket that was completely covered in broken fragments of china, and I knew I wanted to do it, but it took me like a lot of experimenting to figure out how I was going to be able to do that.
I'm trying to make the ultimate kokum scarf or babushka, and the way that I'm doing that is I'm using a process called eco-printing. What's happening is I'm coaxing the color out of these plants or flowers to leave their mark on the cloth. Think about wearing lipstick and then leaving that stain on the cloth. There's a certain amount of process that is really calculated. A lot of it also you kind of have to let go because it also changes seasonally.
I've been in residence at the park at Goodwin House, which is a historic stone house. It's been here for 100 years, and it's also located at a place that's been a meeting place for Indigenous peoples and Métis folks for a very long time, much longer than the house has been here. This past week, I hosted a sun printing workshop, which we gathered plants and we had some film negatives, and we had about 20 participants. Lots of kids came out, and we basically used the sun to develop this kind of special type of paper and make prints of the plants in this area.
I offered a workshop, and it was based off of my work that I call Color Stories from the Land. Each participant had a chance to make their own color story. You're making a bundle essentially. You lay down the cloth, you put your plants on, and you bundle it up, and then you use heat to coax out the color. So when you're taking out this bundle, it's like unwrapping a present.
I feel like my personality and my background definitely shows up in my work. My family was in residential schools and part of the 60s scoop, so finding connection in spaces is something that I routinely approach in my work, and finding better ways to move forward with reconciliation as well.
As a Métis and Ukrainian woman, I'm really informed by my family and where I come from. I'm always thinking about other Indigenous folks around the world and their access to land, or perhaps their land being taken away from them.
I hope people will take away from this experience how valuable it is to have artists come in and have a different viewpoint on the landscape, and how valuable it is to have different members of different communities kind of find common ground very literally in spaces like this, and also how important our parks are.
I think that the more you notice things and get to know different species, flowers, and then start thinking about things like access to land, what species are threatened, it gets you to feel invested in it and starting to care about it. Sharing that, I'm hoping that it'll get people to look at the landscape differently. It's another level of appreciation for where we are.
You can find my visual work at my Instagram, Aurora Wolfe.
If you're interested in finding more about me, you can check out my Instagram. It's Melanie Monique Rose Art. I also have a website, Melanie Monique Rose. I also am represented by a Assiniboia gallery in Regina. I'm also currently curating a couple exhibitions, one for the Godfrey Dean Art Gallery in Yorkton and another one through OSAC that'll travel around Saskatchewan. So those will be some good places to follow what I'm doing.
Are you an artist who's interested in appearing on maxTV Local? Let us know at SaskTel.com/local.